back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we're in a different room. I'm not in my office, I am in my kitchen, so do apologise for the echo and if the lighting's not too great, so apologies for that. But the reason why we are in my kitchen today is because we are finally doing the Unofficial Sims cookbook, and today we're going to make some baked Alaska. It's taken me a while to get around to do this because I had to figure out how I was going to set everything up, and also these are all American recipes, which means they use cups instead of grams, and I didn't have any cups, so I had to buy some cups and buy some other bits and bobs. And some of the stuff in here we call it a different name, or we don't do it because it's an American branded thing, so I'm gonna go with baked Alaska because I can do that, and I'll have to work out some of the other things, whether I find something similar to the American ingredient or have to make something from scratch. Like I said, the first one we're going to do is the baked Alaska, and this was in the Sims 2 as well as the Sims 4, and this recipe serves 4 and it takes 2.5 hours. It doesn't actually take 2.5 hours of doing stuff. You have to put something in the freezer for 2 hours. Yeah, it's only 3 minutes cooking time. There's a tiny bit of prep work, but that's it by the sound of it. So for this, we need 4 1-inch slices of pound cake, and I did not know what pound cake was, and I did have to look it up. Pound cake is also known as, I think the other one was yellow cake, but I know it as Madeira cake. So I went ahead and bought Madeira cake. It's in a weird like loaf, so I might have to cut it slightly different. I might be able to like slice it, and I've got a round biscuit cutter thing, so hopefully I'll be able to make them look like the original pictures. They might not be this big, like I said, because the cake itself isn't very big. Then we need 1 quart vanilla ice cream. I don't know what 1 quart is, but when I read through it, it's just like a scoop of ice cream on each one, so that's easy enough for me to just work out. 4 egg white, 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I'm hoping I can get these shots sort of okay so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over here. So first I went ahead and chopped down the center of the cake, so we had 2 separate halves, so they were thin enough to be able to actually make into these circles. I then got a circle cookie cutter that would fit in this. I think they're supposed to be actually larger, but because of my cake I couldn't do that. So I went ahead and just cut out 4 circles. I was trying to get 3 out of each one, but I could not because of the size of the cookie cutter compared to the cake. Then I went ahead and got my vanilla ice cream and just scooped a little scoop on top of all of these and placed them in the freezer for 2 hours. It's now been about an hour and a half, so I'm going to go ahead and do the prep work for when these need to come out of the freezer. I don't think it'll matter if it's exactly 2 hours either. So the next portion we're making like the meringue stuff. I've never made anything like this before with egg whites and sugar, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, and I hope it turns out okay. So in this bowl I'm going to go ahead and add the egg whites. So I'm just going to crack the egg and try like do the back and forwards because I don't have anything to separate the yolk. Now don't forget, when you've handled raw eggs you want to go ahead and wash your hands. So I have my egg whites in a bowl here. I'm pretty sure I did a good job. I can't see any shell in here, and there's definitely no yolks. I know, in a little separate bowl for my doggy. I did split one of them as I was putting them in here. But it's not like it matters. I might cook these up into like a scrambled egg and add a normal egg, and she can have some scrambled egg because she loves that. Now we need some cream of tartar. I could only find these in little sachets, but I don't think it matters as long as I measure out the right amount. So you only need 1/4 teaspoon, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, 1/4 teaspoon. So I'm gonna go ahead and see how much is in one of these. Yeah, there's 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm just gonna pop that in with the egg whites. I'm just gonna prepare the sugar. The sugar's not gonna go in yet, but you need 1/4 cup of sugar. You need to beat the egg whites and cream of tartar on medium, and then switch to medium high and beat for a bit longer. And slowly start adding, I think it was a teaspoon or a tablespoon, and just carry on beating, adding a tablespoon at a time. So I'm going to pop it in the 1/4 cup so it's ready for me just to do that. So I have a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I'm just going to place that down here. So I'm going to go in with an electric hand mixer. But don't hurt your ears, don't worry, I'm going to mute this sound of this mixer. So now I've made a mess with this sugar. That looks like it is good to me. I feel like you have to have stiff peaks, which they stay up. So now I've just got a baking tray. I've just got a flat one. I very rarely use this one, but it works for this because they look like they're going to be pretty steady, and because I'm going to need to add them around without having the sides, it's easier to get to. So I have my baking paper already cut out, and I'm just placing my bottle opener on here just to keep it in place, otherwise it's going to slide off until the items are on here and it'll keep it in place. So this bit really confused me and I had to look at what this meant, but it says preheat broiler to high and place rack in top third of oven. So I did look up, I sort of had a guess in my head and I was correct. Broiling is just grilling, with like the top grill. I know you can get other grills, like we have the George Foreman grill, different type of grill, but here in the UK, the grill is in the oven. We just have different settings. I'm assuming it is the same in America as well. You just call it a different thing. You call it broiling and not grilling. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that on to high heat. While that is heating up, sorry if you can hear it, it is a fan assisted oven, so the fan just comes on anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the stuff out of the freezer. So I put them in these little plates just because I couldn't fit them on a baking tray in there because there is other stuff in the freezer. Oh, they come off nice and easily. So I'm just going to place them on the baking tray. And now we're going to add the meringue. It looks like it's sort of piped on, but it doesn't say anything about piping it on. So I'm just going to follow the instructions and I'm just going to spread it evenly around the cakes. That is not going to fall off. It is nice and sturdy. That's how your meringue should be. Not that I've ever made meringue before, but I've seen other people make it, so I sort of know. Try me showing you this one. And you want to make sure the ice cream is fully enclosed. That's going to stop the ice cream melting everywhere when it is in the grill. So does that look pretty? No, it does not. It looks nothing like the picture, but to me, as long as it tastes good, and I just really wanted to make sure there was enough of the meringue on there, like I said, to stop the ice cream melting everywhere. I'm trying to do this quickly because I don't want the ice cream to melt, and I'm also not trying to touch it because I will melt it because my hands are a little bit warm. So now I have my little mounds, like I said. They don't look very good, but I just wanted to make sure everything was fully covered. I think it would look better if it was piped on the top to make that little square. Now I'm gonna pop these in the grill / broil them for 2 to 3 minutes. And it says to put the rack about 2/3 of the way up, which makes sense because of the height of these. Normally when you grill things, you have it really, really close. It is quite close because of how tall they are, but they're not gonna touch. Okay, it's starting to smell like burning, so I'm just gonna take these out for now because I don't want to burn them. Because I think because mine are so tall, I'm having trouble. What I'm gonna do is lower it down a little bit and hopefully just cooks some more of the meringue. So that didn't go as planned. I think it is the issue of my things being too tall. So the top is it's not burnt, maybe it is a bit burnt. But I felt on the side of the meringue and it feels like it has started to set everywhere. I'm going to attempt to try these anyway. So here we have the baked Alaska. Like I said, the top started to burn a little bit, so I had to take it out. And when I picked it up, it did split, so the ice cream's starting to melt. But you are supposed to serve these immediately. And hopefully I'm not going to give myself food poisoning here. And see, ooh, that crunch. The cake's still a bit cold, so it's hard to get through, but it's really tasty. So if I decide to do these again, and if you are going to do them, my little tips would be to do a thinner piece of cake. That wasn't my bad, I should have done it thinner. And the ice cream, I felt like instead of being a scoop on there, needed to be flattened across so it is thinner, because then it's going to cook more evenly when it was in the grill. But it still tastes pretty good. Such an odd texture because the ice cream is melted in there, but it has a crunch to it as well. But the cake is pretty dense. I'd give this like maybe a 7 out of 10. If I had done it right, it might have rated higher, so it might be my fault. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and I will see you in the next video. Bye!